Hi, I'm Alexa, and as you noticed from the title, this is gonna be got a top. This is gonna be Ant-Man history. There's been 3 Ant-Mans, so there's a fuzzy. There's been 3 Ant-Mans, so I'm gonna start with obviously the first one should be Henry Hank Pym. Um, then there's Scott Lang, who I'll do next time, and Eric O'Grady, O'Grady. That's the third one. My favorite one is Henry, which is the first one. So, Dr. Henry, he was a scientist who was married to this girl named Maria Trovoya, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Well, later on, they were married. She died. She got killed. So that's not very important. I just thought that was interesting that he was married before. Anyways, he discovered the Pym particles, which then he started using on himself. After that, after he went through some problems of being a little ant and getting himself back to normal, he thought they were too dangerous, so he just destroyed all of them. After rethinking it after a while and some time, he decided to recreate them because, they could be useful. And with that, he created a helmet that would actually help him communicate with ants. After that, some aliens had actually killed Pym's partner. So once he had died, he was not forced, but he revealed his secret to Janet Van Dyne, which was his partner's daughter, since she wanted revenge on his death. He then showed her the Pym particles, helped her grow small, and actually grow wings when she became, tiny. Soon became partners in crime, Wasp and Ant-Man together. They gradually, fell in love with time. So he learned how to get into, greater heights, which he has some trouble with later on that don't know the specifics, but he prefers going giant. So, and he calls himself Giant Man now instead of Ant-Man. After some time, Wasp and Ant-Man decide to retire from crime fighting and from the Avengers. But later on, some Avengers get attacked by the Submarine heading to New York and stuff, which Janet ends up getting captured. So that brings this new character of Ant-Man's being Goliath. I don't know how to pronounce it. Because of the particles over the years, Janet and Ant-Man and Hank could now actually change themselves just normally. This is the fall of Pym, which is my favorite part of Henry. When he starts just going crazy and mad because of all the problems he's going through. Pym began experimenting with robotics, which actually brought on to create Ultron, who became this huge villain against, the Avengers. After Ultron, Pym was plagued with guilt. Pym had been wanting to marry Janet for a while now, but, he hadn't done it yet. And so while he was experimented in his lab, some gases spilled and they reeked, which actually made his personality change temporarily. Also be called a severe case of schizophrenia. So he took the new identity of Yellow Jacket. He claimed that he had killed Henry Pym, and he kind of kidnapped Janet and forced her to marry him, or proposed in marriage, technically. She went along with it because she knew that it was actually Henry Pym, and if she refused, it would worsen. They get married at the Avengers mansion thing, and after that, they get attacked. And seeing Janet in harm's way, Henry, Hank, pops back to, being Ant-Man because he sees that and it kind of just brings him back to himself. He did the villains, and then after that, being Marvel, super weird shit and stuff. And even though their marriage was with Yellow Jacket, which was kind of creepy with a super weird dude, they still let the marriage stand because they're like, oh well, we're married anyway, so might as well let it stand, right? We're in love, sure. For a while, he fought crime as Yellow Jacket, and then Ant-Man for a while too. And soon after, he gave his blessing to Scott Lang, the second Ant-Man, to let him take the Ant-Man suit, which I'll explain how that actually happened on the second part of this. Oh, my neck. So Pym had always loved science, and he has started to lose his love for crime fighting and stuff, and he kind of just felt like he hadn't done anything since the Pym particles. He also noticed that Janet was like the moneymaker. She was the one supporting this family. He was doing nothing. He started taking his frustration through verbally abusing his wife. So Janet just, he started having a breakdown. So he actually created a robot that had a weak spot that only Pym knew about. So it would attack the Avengers and he'd look like a hero. Well, Janet found out about this. She didn't agree, so he actually hit her. He hits her. She's the one that actually destroys the robot after all. He was expelled from the Avengers and they got a divorce, obviously. After he moved out, Pym was not financially well, but he also did not want help from anyone. He did not need it. He needed it. He just didn't need it. His main enemy, Egghead, that kind of main enemy, he came to him when he was, in need of money, and he told him he'd pay him a huge sum of money if he made this robotic arm for Patricia. He did, but Egghead actually tricked him. He made him think that the arm that he had made would actually explode if he didn't do what Egghead wanted him to do. So Pym had to sue from the government and defeat the Avengers, which obviously wouldn't work in the end. Anyways, when he goes to defeat the Avengers or fight them, he loses. He tries to explain himself what had happened, but Egghead was actually controlling that woman, so he made it seem as if it was all Pym's idea and none of him. So Pym gets arrested, and to make it worse, Janet starts dating Tony Stark, which actually ends soon after, really soon, so it doesn't really matter. But at that point, it was pretty bad for him, his ex-wife is just dating someone else, and he's going to jail. Not a great time for him, so that sucks. So after a while in jail, he actually gets, broken out by the Masters of Evil who were working for Egghead. And Egghead wants him to, build this machine. Ant-Man, knowing Egghead now, decides to build a machine that will actually destroy them, which he does and stuff. And, stuff's going down, they're talking, and Egghead's pointing a gun at Ant-Man. But Hawkeye's actually looking for far away, so he shoots an arrow through the barrel, which then kills which then kills Egghead. Egghead's dead. Done. Donezo. Bye.